Hello everyone. Once again, welcome back to the channel Charcha on MBA. This is your host Harsh, and today we have a wonderful guest with us from IIM Calcutta, Mr. Aaditya Pagar. Hello, sir. Welcome to the channel.
Hey Harsh, hi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure to be with you on the channel. So, sir, can you provide a brief introduction about yourself to the viewers?
Sure. So I'm Aditya Pagar, and I come from Vadodara, Gujarat. I was born in a joint family of 20 people. I did my schooling in Vadodara and decided to, do mechanical engineering, and that's how I ended up at NIT Surat. Graduated from NIT Surat, then worked with the Excel Analytics as a consultant for 2 years. After that, did my MBA from IIM Calcutta, which is why I'm here. And post IIM Calcutta, I worked with Bank of America. And now I've recently joined a fintech called Navi. So yeah, that's my professional journey. On a personal front, I'm a person who likes to read and write quite a lot. Been trying to write more frequently on LinkedIn right now. And I love sports, love to watch football, lawn tennis. I even play lawn tennis and recently started playing golf. And I'm a big Manchester United fan, hardly miss any of their matches. So yeah.
So, can you walk us through your MBA journey, your CAT prep, interviews, and life at IIM Calcutta?
Sure. So I think for that, I would have to go back to my second year of engineering. So this is where we started with the core subjects of engineering. And by this time, I had done a couple of internships, mostly in core companies like ONGC and the likes. And that's when I decided that mechanical engineering is not what I wanted to do. So I explored uh, what options did I have, and MBA was one of the options. So those were the days of Quora. I read a lot on Quora, and there were guys like Aviral Bhatnagar writing on Quora about their experiences at IIM Ahmedabad, their experiences about CAT prep and interview prep. And that was a career path that intrigued me quite a lot. So I decided that I was going to, get my MBA right after my engineering. And hence I started my CAT prep in the third year itself. I joined a coaching and also did quite a lot of self-study. And did end up getting a decent percentile, and I ended up getting all the calls from like all the IIMs. Uh, that year ended up converting FMS. Didn't want to join FMS, so hence decided to take up my campus placement with EXL and worked there for 2 years, always with the goal of MBA in mind. That I thought that either I would go in as a fresher or as someone with a couple of years of work experience. And again, got a very good percentile in CAT, got all the calls, and this time I did manage to convert almost all my calls. Uh, I'm Ahmedabad being the exception. Yeah. So yeah, that is my journey to IIM Calcutta. Yep.
So, can you share some insights about IIM Calcutta that the general public might not know?
One insight is that it is quite far away from Kolkata, the main city, and also quite far away from airport. So when we used to joke around that why is it called IIM Calcutta? So Joka is what is like a nickname from for IIM Calcutta, which is quite apt because that area is called Joka. It is on the outskirts of Calcutta. So for every outing, you have to take a cab ride of 45 minutes to 1 hour to, get to good restaurants and places in the city. So yeah, this is something I don't think quite a lot of people know.
Okay. We all know that the MBA life it very hectic. So how one should manage his personal and academic life to maintain a balance between both?
Uh, See, I would like to first categorize where your time goes, right? So there's obviously academics, given that you are going there to study. So assignments and self-study will take up quite a lot of your time. MBA is quite intensive in terms of assignments, group projects, and everything. Then you have your personal life, hanging out with friends, catching up with them, going for a movie or anything. And then you have your hobbies, right? Something that you like to do, read a book, going for a run. I like to play tennis. So I think it is very difficult to do justice to all three of them, as most of the people will tell you that you will have to prioritize. So it is sort of a juggling act between all the three, and it depends on you. And I've seen people done who do all the three, but then they don't get quite a lot of sleep in. And I am someone who likes my sleep, so I used to let go of a couple of parties. And I'm someone who likes to play lawn tennis, so I did let go of some events where I would like to go. But yeah, I think prioritization is the key. Everyone gets the same number of hours. It's all about how
Yeah.
you manage within that.
Yeah. Finally, the most crucial question of this podcast: how one should prepare for CAT 2024? What should be the ideal preparation plan to ace the exam this year?
So I think first you need to know where you are before you get started. So I think it would be ideal to, take up a mock test. There are a lot of free mock tests. So a kind of diagnostic mock to, know your strengths, your key areas, your weaknesses, and then you can get started with your prep, because it will be not the same for everyone. Some people are quite natural at verbal ability. Some people, mostly engineers, are very good at quant. So depending on your weak areas, I think that should be the strategy. You outline the curriculum of the CAT, and would suggest develop habits. Solving a couple of DILR sets every day, reading for half an hour every day, and CAT is a lot about muscle memory and speed. It does not require quite a lot of intelligence. It is not as tough as IIT Advanced or the likes. So it is simple 10 standard math, not very difficult, but you have to be quick at it, and don't make any silly mistakes. So stuff like that. So I would suggest that cover the whole curriculum in the beginning. So there are two stages of the prep. First is covering the syllabus, getting the basics, understanding the formulae of arithmetic, geometry, and the likes. And same goes with verbal. You learn how to do things like parajumble, summary, etc. And DILR, there are different types of sets. So you try to, understand what all are the different types of sets you can encounter, how to, solve them. But that said, it is quite uh, normal to see a completely new type of set in mocks or the actual CAT. So it is also about how to, find a method to solve new sets and everything. So first stage, I would say that first stage is covering your basics and syllabus. Second and most crucial step is giving mocks. I think this is what differentiates like high percentilers from low percentilers. I have seen quite a lot of students that I've mentored complain to me that their syllabus is not finished. How can they start giving mocks? But I would suggest, in whatever position you are, just start giving mocks like 4 5 months before CAT, and try to enroll into one of the series of IMS time or CL, whatever you want to do, and religiously take mock every week. And I think that is one part. Second is analyzing mock. There is no point in giving mock every week if you're not improving. So analyze your. I used to spend quite a lot of time on analyzing my mocks. Making a note of mistakes I did, new type of questions I encountered, how to solve them, and making just general notes about my strengths and weakness. I think it's the analysis of mock that will, really push your score from, wherever you are to like a couple of percentile. So analyze your mocks, and I think quite a lot of people I've seen, they get demoralized because their scores fluctuate in mock, and if they get a low mock score, they just give up on CAT or are not actively preparing. So I would say it is a marathon, and you need to, keep on till the end, till November. You have to keep your foot on the pedal. That also means that you don't should not be burnt out by then. I see the opposite as well. Some people start off the year on a very, high note, full of enthusiasm and energy, and by like July, August, they just don't have any steam left in them. So I think that would be it. And also, I would say don't just depend on CAT. Also prepare for other exams simultaneously, because it's quite evident. I've seen with my friends who are like who had equally good prep as me, and our scores in mocks were similar. But on the D day, some things don't work out for you. You pick the wrong DLR set first, things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much about CAT prep, how to go about it.
Okay. I read your LinkedIn post on reading. How do you go about VARC section, given the majority that the engineers have tough time with the VARC?
Yeah, so as an engineer, even I had my fair share of VARC nightmares. And to be honest, during my CAT prep days, my teachers at the coaching used to tell all of us read one book every week, write a summary. But I was not a avid reader back then, and I've heard from a lot of people that they are not a book person, and I was one of those people. So I think the important part about that about VRC is I don't think reading books is the only way to go about it. Obviously, if you're an avid book reader, it definitely helps. But how I would go about it is, firstly, there are different types of passages, different genres. Like you have passages from technology, you have passages from economics, you have passages from psychology, then politics. So as an engineer, I would feel very comfortable with passages on technology or science, because I already had the knowledge of that subject. I knew the vocabulary, so I tried to do that for other genres as well. I used to read up passages on psychology, Google terms that I did not understand. If there was some interesting concept, like Freud's theory of dream, I would, watch a YouTube video on it to understand that concept. So that is how I developed, minimum, I would say, a small knowledge on each of the genres that helped me understand the vocabulary. So if you understand it, you'd be able to read it quite easily. So if you're not into books, no worries. You can just read anything, anything under the sun, just read. That is the main thing. Also, I have a slightly different approach to VARC, which I like to call the coffee shop approach. So most of the people that approach the RC passages, they approach it with the mindset of finding answers for the question. If you do that, your mind is quite biased. Some of the people also like to read the questions first and then go through the passage. So I'm someone who did not used to read the questions. This might work for some people, might not work for some people. So the way coffee shop approach goes is that I used to imagine myself in a coffee shop, someplace nice, sunny, and think of the passage as a magazine that is lying on the coffee table, and I'm just casually reading that passage with the coffee. That is how I used to imagine. So the idea is that whatever passage you have in front of you, read it with interest and curiosity. Don't think about answering the questions. If you read it with interest and curiosity, you'll definitely get a very good idea of what the author is trying to say. Most of the times, people just rush through the passage in search of answers. They don't understand the whole idea of the passage, the whole flow of the passage. In RC, you don't have answers that you'll find in a single line. It's mostly about what is the central idea of the passage, what ideas author supports, what he opposes, things like that. So it's imperative to understand the whole flow. And since I used to read it with curiosity and for my own, liking, I used to quite well understand what the author was trying to say, and that helped me nail the RC questions later on.
Okay. As MBA interviews are currently going on in the MBA world, could you share your interview experience with the viewers?
Sure, sure. I had quite a lot of interviews that I gave. One set of interviews in 2019 when I was a fresher. As I mentioned, I had all the calls, and yeah, those were the days of offline interviews. You needed to go to one of the cities, like nearest for me was Mumbai. So I made like 7, 8 trips to Mumbai in a couple of months. So my first set of interviews were not good. I got rejected from all the top 5 IIMs, waitlisted in a couple of them, but couldn't convert. So I think there were a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, I was a bit underconfident. Second, I was not very sure of my own story, so I used to just mug up answers and try to, you know, give that in an interview, but that just did not work. I used to read up interview experiences on Quora and try to phrase similar answers and have a set template of answers. So I think that was the reason I did not make it to like many good colleges that year. Second set of interviews were after my 2 years of work. By this time, I had developed some of my communication skills. Having worked in a client-facing industry, I was somewhat confident as well. I was more clear of my why MBA. I had a story to tell. So that's how things worked. But again, interviews are there is no fixed template for IIM interviews. It could go either way. I've had very strange and weird experiences myself. In one interview, I was asked to, I think we have 6 fundamental rights. I think I was asked which article number of constitution they are in, and I had no idea. And I was wondering if this was a UPSC interview or IIM interview. So yeah, so things like that, you have to be prepared. I think first part is preparation, which is in your control. So you can prep your whatever your job, your engineering subjects are, current affairs, and basics of economics, politics, and etc. Uh, Second is how do you manage the interview? Like, are you confident? Are you communicating clearly? There are stress interviews as well. So these are the things that the professors check. Like, are you able to communicate your ideas in a good way? Firstly, they're not looking for someone who knows everything. They just want something that they can work with. They'll teach you most of the things. You have to be trainable, you have to be humble. You just have to convince them why do you belong in that classroom? What makes you a bit unique? Okay, how can you contribute to the case study discussions that we have in IIMs? So that is the idea.
Okay. So, can a non-engineer with a different academic background pursue product management? And if yes, what steps should they secure to get a interview call?
Okay. So, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I also didn't have like quite a lot of tech background. Having worked in analytics, I know some part of tech, but still I managed to, develop the basics of product management knowledge during my MBA. So it's all about your interest. There are obviously different organizations. They have different types of role for product manager. In some organizations like Microsoft, the role is a bit technical, so you do require some knowledge of coding. So they prefer people who have had some coding experience or tech background. Some organizations, the role is not so technical. So there, what skill sets they are looking for is someone with great communication skills, great project management skills. You should be able to communicate effectively in, verbal and written manner. And second, you should have first principle thinking, common sense, basically, how to, question everything. How can we make this better? And I think these skills you can develop with practice, irrespective of your background. There are a lot of online resources, good pages on LinkedIn. The product school is one of them. PM school is one of them. You can follow these pages, and they have assignments, case competitions. Excuse me. Yeah. So they have assignments, case competitions. You can take part in that, develop your skill set. See, it is a skill, it can be learned. And I have seen people with no tech background break it into product management and do quite well. So I think the background does not matter, at least for most of the companies, as long as you have the skills to back it up.
Okay, thank you. With the inflation prevailing globally and warnings from our finance minister about the possible inflation in India, coupled with instances like several students are not getting placed even in IIM Bangalore and summer placements, how one should prepare during this global recession, especially if they are fresher, aiming for a good company placements.
In MBA, firstly, placements are a bit random. So the way it works is, I would say if you have a batch of 100, out of that 100, 60 people will get the jobs that they deserve. Okay, how their profile is, what their prep was, they'll get the jobs that they wanted. 20 people will get jobs better than that they deserve, and there'll be 20% people who will get like jobs which are not so good for their profile or their skill set. It is a 3 day circus. There are hundreds of companies coming on campus, and there are like 500 students. So it is not a very optimal matching process. So this randomness does happen. That being said, it is 80%, your profile, your prep, and 20% luck. You can't do anything about the luck factor. So let's take that out. Now, your profile. Firstly, you can't change your academics and past academics and what you have done. What you have in hand is you can take up key PORs in B school or take part in case competitions. These are things you can control. So try to do that, enhance your profile as much as you can. Don't just do it for the sake of the CV. These provide amazing learning experiences, taking up a PR, doing case competitions. So do that, and that takes part of your CV. And other thing is grades, which are in your control. So try to work, have decent grades. I would not, grades don't play very important role, but there are certain companies which have cutoffs. So it's very important that you maintain a decent grade during your MBA, especially if you don't have amazing grades before that. So that takes part of your CV. And second is your prep for the summers or the finals. So your prep is something which you can control. So the way it works is you have different types of companies visiting different roles. You have finance, consulting, product management, operations, and Genman. So decide very quickly on what you want to do. Talk to seniors, introspect quite a bit, see where your profile would be suitable, and like through this, analysis, come up with two areas which you would like to target. If you do more than two, then you're going to spread yourself thin. If you're going to prepare finance, consulting, and product management, all three, then trust me, you'll not be able to get into the depths of it. So get your prep done, find good study partners who have similar interest, and just prep really good. Get in touch with seniors who interned or are working in companies where you want to work. Just do your homework, and the rest, the process will take care of it. So that is, and I think given the economy, how it is, having recently switched jobs, I can say that economy is not very good right now. We do expect a, K-shaped recovery soon in the second half of 24. But still, I would say that prepare quite well for your jobs and internships. What I've usually seen is that the top half of the batch, their offers or the type of companies that they get is not that impacted as much as the bottom half. So try to keep yourself in the top half of your batch, prep wise, profile wise, and I don't think so you should have any problem with finding a good job on campus.
Okay, thank you, sir, for joining this session and providing such valuable insights about IIM Calcutta placements and all. Thank you so much for joining us. One more thing, I will provide your LinkedIn in the description. If any of the viewers want more insights and need your help, please help those viewers.
Sure. I'd love to help them out, and I really liked your initiative. It not just helps your prep for MBA, but also helps many other aspirants. So it's a
Thank you
great
so much.
platform. Thank you for setting this up. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir.